My mother forced me to sleep in that room. I didn't want to go in there. I stood at the doorway, staring across the threshold at the bed on the other side, frozen. My stomach churned, my skin prickled. Everything in me screamed not to cross that line, but I had no choice. And as soon as I stepped inside, I knew I'd made a mistake. At first, everything was quiet, still, but sometime after midnight, I woke up. I couldn't explain why, but the air felt wrong, heavy, as though the walls had shifted and I was no longer in my home, but in another realm entirely. Then I heard it, breathing, heavy, slow and deliberate. Something was standing beside my bed. I pulled the blanket tighter under my chin, and trembling, I peered over the edge. That's when I saw it. A black silhouette, tall, towering, its form like smoke, its edges shifting like vapor, and its eyes, two glowing, blood-red eyes that pierced straight into my soul. It leaned closer, and the room turned icy cold. My heart pounded so loudly, it drowned out my thoughts. My body froze. My fingers wouldn't move. My head wouldn't turn away. I was completely paralyzed. I whispered prayers under my breath, the only ones I knew. Born into a Muslim family, I'd been taught to pray earnestly, and I did. But this thing was something else. It didn't care about the prayers. In fact, it mocked them. Its laughter started low and deep, then rose higher, piercing, incrementally, like running a scale on a piano, sharper, mocking me. That's not going to do anything, it hissed. I called Allah and Muhammad again to come help me, but nothing. It was dead silent. It came closer, so close I could feel its cold breath, a wisp of death against my face. It moved over me, its vapory body hovering just a centimeter above mine, not touching but pressing me down with its presence. Then it slid to my left side and began whispering things, awful things, words I didn't even understand. I was only 7, time slowed, every second dragged on like an eternity. I prayed harder, my throat was dry, my body frozen. The moonlight didn't move, as if even time itself was trapped in that room. I prayed, I cried silently, but it didn't leave. It kept laughing, tormenting me, enjoying my fear, until at last I must have passed out. When I woke up, the blanket was still over my head. I peeked out, heart pounding. It was gone. I screamed. My sisters came running, crying. We were all terrified. We didn't know what to do, so we ran to my mom to tell her. I promised myself I'd never sleep in that room again. When we got to Mum, we were panicked, rushing, my words stumbling, caught. But my mother didn't believe us. This was only one night in that haunted room, the one night that changed everything. My faith, my trust in God's, and my search for the truth. And it wouldn't be the last time the darkness came for us. Stay tuned for more.
History of the Jinn. Jinn, also known as Jinn or genies, are supernatural beings originating from Arabic mythology believed to be created from smokeless and scorching fire. They possess unique abilities to interact with humans, such as shape-shifting, invisibility, can take human form, or animal form. While they are not immortal, Jinn have long lifespans and exhibit free will, allowing them to choose between good and evil actions. Like humans, they possess free will, but can also oppress and possess humans, animals, and objects in Islamic tradition. Jinn exist alongside angels and humans, and their characteristics can range from benevolent beings rewarding kindness to malevolent spirits causing mischief. The concept of Jinn has significantly influenced Western culture, particularly through stories like Aladdin, where genies are depicted as wish-granting entities. Various types of Jinn exist, including the powerful Marid, which is elementally linked to water. Some traditions always suggest that they are the most powerful tribe of Jinn, capable of great magic. Wish-granting genies like the ones you might see in movies such as Aladdin are often thought to be Marids. The mischievous Efrit or Ifrit, is often associated with the underworld and identified with the spirits of the dead, and have been compared to the evil genii locorum in European culture. An ifrit might possess an individual and give them abilities such as getting stronger and being more brave. In Arabic and Turkish dialects, the term jinn is a substantive referring to independent entities, powerful chthonic demons or ghosts of the dead who sometimes inhabit desolate places such as ruins and temples. Their true habitat is the Jahannam, hell, or underworld. An ifrit among the jinn is mentioned in a hadith of Muhammad al-Bukhari, attempting to interrupt the prayers of Muhammad 14a, and in a narrative of Muhammad's night journey recorded in the 8th century by Malik ibn Anas. In the latter account, the ifrit among the jinn threatens Muhammad with a fiery presence. The malevolent ghoul, each with distinct traits and origins, is the creepiest type of jinn. Bloodsuckers that inhabit graveyards and lonely places. In folklore, a ghoul, from Arabic, is a demon-like being or monstrous humanoid, often associated with graveyards and the consumption of human flesh. In these tales, the ghoul appears to men as a long-lost female relative or an unassuming old woman. She uses this glamour beat to lure the hapless characters, who are usually husbands or fathers, into her home where she can eat them. The ghoul is said to lure unwary people into the desert wastes or abandoned places to slay and devour them. Ghoul preys on young children, ghoul eats the dead, ghoul drinks blood of humans. One of the narratives identified a ghoul named Guli Biaban, a particularly monstrous character believed to be inhabiting the wilderness of Afghanistan and Iran. A hyena who attacked a woman in Mecca in 1667 was referred to by locals as a ghoul, possibly due to a perceived similarity to the creature of folklore. Al-Damashqi describes the ghoul as cave-dwelling animals who only leave at night and avoid the light of the sun. They would eat both humans and animals. They are able to travel back and forth through the wall of sleep. This is demonstrated in Lovecraft's The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, in which Randolph Carter encounters Pickman in the dream world after his complete transition into a mature ghoul. In ancient Mesopotamia, there were demonic entities known as Gulu, which scholar Ahmed el-Rawi believes may have influenced the Arabic ghoul via early contact between Bedouin traders and Akkadians. According to History of the Prophets and Kings, the rebellious Meridatuum, among the devils and the ghouls, have been chased away to the deserts and mountains and valleys a long time ago. The Jann, other known jinn, are a supernatural serpent-like creature, primitive and considered the father of the jinn. Sahih Muslim describes al-Jann as being created out of a mixture of fire, contrasted with the angels created from light and humans created from clay mud. Shaitan, the evil jinn, akin to demons in Christianity. Also known as Iblis in Arabic culture, Shaitan is the leader of the devils. The Quran mentions Shaitan numerous times, often highlighting his deceitful nature and his attempts to lure believers away from the path of righteousness. One of the most significant Quranic references to Shaitan is found in Surah Al-A'raf 7:16-17, where Shaitan vows to mislead humanity. The belief in jinn remains prevalent in many Muslim cultures, where they are often thought to inhabit various environments and can be linked to mental illnesses or misfortunes. Understanding jinn offers insight into a rich tradition that spans folklore, spirituality, and cultural narratives reflecting diverse beliefs about the unseen world. In Islamic folklore, the Ifrit became a class of chthonic spirits, inhabiting the layers of the seven earths, generally ruthless and wicked, formed out of smoke and fire. This is known as Dante's Inferno. Dante's hell is structured so that each of the circles represents one or more specific sins, such as gluttony, lust, and wrath, in order of increasing severity. As Dante and Virgil descend through the circles, they encounter people who are guilty of having committed the sins of each circle while they were alive. Despite their negative depictions and affiliation to the nether regions, Ifrit are fundamentally evil on a moral plane. They might even carry out God's purpose. Such obligations can nevertheless be ruthless, such as obligation to blood vengeance and avenging murder. Nizami Ganjavi describes an Ifrit tormenting Mahan as created from God's wrath, thus underpinning the Ifrit's role secondary to God's will. Further, an Ifrit can be compelled by a sorcerer, if summoned. Jinn are commonly viewed as the Islamic equivalent of demons, although their nature is more intricate. The term demon Christians commonly use today for evil spirits is derived from the Greek word daemon. It means a supernatural being or spirit which influence people's character. The evil spirit sent to afflict Saul in 1 Samuel 16:14. The lying spirit sent to deceive Ahab, 1 King 22:19-22. The New Testament also includes various terms to describe hostile spirits, whether the angels of Satan in Matthew 25-41 and Revelation 12-9, the principalities, powers of darkness, authorities, and rulers of darkness in Ephesians 6:12, or the unclean spirits of Matthew 12:43. In pre-Islamic Arabia, the dominant religious practice was that of Arab polytheism, which was based on the veneration of various deities and spirits, such as the god Hubal and the goddesses Yal, Uzza, and Mant. Hoyland Arliniar, p. 139. These goddesses were cults devoted to celestial bodies, particularly Venus, drawing upon evidence external to the Muslim tradition as well as in relation to Syria, Mesopotamia, and the Sinai Peninsula. Some scholars postulate that in pre-Islamic Arabia, including in Mecca, Allah was considered to be a deity, possibly a creator deity or a supreme deity in a polytheistic pantheon. The word Allah, from the Arabic al-Elah, meaning the god, may have been used as a title rather than a name. The concept of Allah may have been vague in the Meccan religion. According to Islamic sources, Meccans and their neighbors believed that the goddesses Al-Alpt, Al-Utsa, and Mant were the daughters of Allah. Wellhausen states that Allah was linked to a moon god, and the term Allah functions as a generic term, like the term El Elyon used as a title for the god Sin. Worship was centered on local shrines and temples, most notably including the Kaaba in Mecca. Deities were venerated and invoked through pilgrimages, divination, and ritual sacrifice, among other traditions. Different theories have been proposed regarding the role of Allah, a word in Arabic that is now chiefly associated with God in Islam, in the Meccan religion. Many of the physical descriptions of the pre-Islamic gods and goddesses are traced to idols, especially near the Kaaba, which is said to have contained up to 360 of them. Jinn are commonly viewed as the Islamic equivalent of demons, although their nature is more intricate according to common Arabian belief. Soothsayers, pre-Islamic philosophers, and poets were inspired by the jinn. However, jinn were also feared and thought to be responsible for causing various diseases and mental illnesses. In the stories of King Solomon, a king and wise ruler who could control shaitans, demons, and supernatural beings, and he controlled them with a ring that was entrusted to him by the archangel Michael. Are you being tormented by spirits? Out of the Darkness book series will help you get rid of them forever. Like, subscribe, and join us for more Bible stories.